Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me dear, tell me you are mine. I'll be yours through all the years, till the end of time. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always
Elvis Presley fans gather at Graceland to honor the King's birthday. Television and radio personality Wink Martindale remembers the day nearly 60 years ago when Elvis Presley's first single, That's All Right, played for the first time on the radio. Fans gather at Graceland for Elvis Presley's birthday. The King of Rock and Roll would have celebrated his 79th birthday on Wednesday, had it not been for his untimely death on August 16, 1977 at the age of 42. On Elvis Presley's 79th, some eyeing a huge 80th birthday celebration. The King of Rock and Roll was born 79 years ago today, on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Miss. Fans around the world have been celebrating his birthday in a big way for decades now, with the biggest party occurring in Memphis. Elvis Presley fans celebrate icon's birthday. Martindale and Jenna Bush Hager, daughter of former President George W. Bush, attended the annual birthday party at Presley's longtime Memphis home. Elvis Presley birthday celebration begins.
Tamer than you were, I think. You had a more wild image. Am I correct in thinking that?
Well, I think Elvis was a little bit more conservative than I was. He hid himself more, I would say, from the public than I did. I was more wide open than Elvis. I never hid anything. Or whatever I did, I never tried to hold it a secret.
There's one story that is, I read constantly about you, that you went to Graceland, you had a gun, the sheriff comes, takes you away. What is the truth behind that story, if there is any, but what happened?
Elvis, in the last days there, he was, well, about 15 times he called me on the phone, you know. And he said, Jerry, I got to see you. It's very important. I'm very depressed and I want to talk to you, you know. And he'd talk to you bad. And I just couldn't visualize Elvis Presley being down and out, depressed about anything. You know, I shunned him off and I didn't go, you know. And one night he called me down at the Vapors Club there in Memphis, about a mile or so from his home. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and to admit the truth about it, I was drinking a lot of champagne that night. I don't drink champagne that much. And it made me a little wild, you know.
A little bit.
And so, yeah, really. And so, to say the least. So I went out and got my Lincoln car, you know. I said, well, I'm going to come down and see you, so I'll be there in a minute, you know. So I walked outside, and Mr. Ford, Charlie Foreman, on the Vapors. He said, Jerry, just a minute, I have a present for you. And he gave me this .38 Dillinger pistol. It was brand new. Had never been fired. I still have it. Never has been fired. And I said, oh, thank you, Mr. Ford. And I went to put it in my glove compartment. He said, no, put this on the dashboard. If you conceal it in your glove compartment, it's against the law, run you down, it's against the law. But if you put it on your dashboard, not conceal it, it's not against the law. Take it home. I said, okay, well, I forgot I was going by Elvis's house.
So you drove by with the gun out.
So I drove by there and the gun was there on the dashboard. And when I turned into Elvis's house, the front end of that Lincoln looked like it was a mile long to me. And I misjudged it, and I run into his gate. And he had hired a new guard. Travis wasn't on the gate. His uncle. He had a new guard on the gate. So he come running out there, and I hit the gate, and it was shaking all over like he was doing a show on there, you know. And it was kind of funny to me, I don't know. And he said, well, what do you want? I said, well, Elvis called me and want to see me. He said, yeah, who are you? I said, well, just tell him Jerry Lee's here, you know. And he saw that gun on the dashboard of the car. And he ran back and he called the law. And so I'm sitting there, you know, and a minute later, the law, about 5 or 6 squad cars surrounded my car, you know. I'm sitting there looking at it, and I was really loaded. And I went to put the seat back on the car, and instead of putting the seat back, I was putting the window down. And I didn't know it. I threw this champagne bottle out the window, and I thought it was down, and knocked the whole window clean out. So they knew I was loaded. And it was embarrassing. And I said, what are you going to do with that gun? You going to shoot Elvis Presley? I said, well, if you're silly enough to think that, I said, probably so.
And that's where it came.
And they said, get out of that car, the old kid. That was the deal on that. And Elvis waited and waited and waited on me. You know?
Was there ever any competition between the two of you? Did you ever feel that I mean, you're both,
No.
you know, the leaders of a movement, almost a revolution.
We considered ourselves both kings of rock and roll, so to speak. I mean, in our own way. He considered himself the #1 artist. I did too. And the honest thing, I done what I wanted to do. Elvis, he wanted to do the things I did, but he was scared too, and he tried to do it and hide it. And so I said, Elvis, you know, you ought to be your own man, do what you want to do. Don't let these people tell you what to do. Well, Elvis Presley was a fine person, and I miss him very much, and he was one of my dear friends, somebody I could depend on, you know?
When you talk about, as you saw yourself as, you both saw yourself as kings, a question I was wanting to ask you is, when the history of rock and roll is written, where will your place be?
Well, I was the first artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is new to the stage. He's only just begun his career, but I think he's going to be a big success. Live from Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis Presley! Well, I'm sure we're going to see lots more of him. Our next performer, you've seen him. He's new, but he's been around. He is going to charm your way. He is fabulous. Introducing Elvis Presley.
You ain't nothing but a hound.
Performer who has performed all over the United States, and he's here live with us tonight from Las Vegas. Give it up for Elvis Presley!
Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams for my darling.
We love you, Elvis.
It just gets me right here every time. Well, where was I? The show. Oh yes, the show. Our next performer is internationally known all over the world. Just fabulous, just fabulous. We're so pleased to have him here tonight. Introducing Elvis Presley. not performing for a while, and he's back with his comeback tour. He's back for the first time in a number of years. Welcome, welcome from Memphis, Tennessee, Elvis Presley.
Bribery or Tuesday,
When you don't believe what
It's so good to see him back on stage. He's just larger than life. Well, our final performance unfortunately comes to us via satellite. He's not with us, couldn't be here. But he's in our hearts. So I'd like you to give a warm, distant welcome to Elvis Presley.
Jericho.
with you and tell you how I come on. I know you heard about Joshua, he was the son of Nun. He stopped his work until the work was done. God knows that Joshua had to battle
What a wonderful, fabulous show. Can we get one more round? Let's have all of our Elvises out here. Come on. All of our Elvises. Memphis, Tennessee. Las
Elvis will never be the same. Great job.
Oh my God.